I'm about to demonstrate Dragon Medical version 10.1 with all scripts MyWay. The Dragon toolbar across the top of the screen indicates that Dragon is running and ready to use. I've already opened an incomplete note, selected a chief complaint, and clicked the HPI tab where I want to document the patient's history in narrative form. Clicking the button under the Notes link makes the window bigger so I can proofread my text more easily. The patient comes in today for evaluation of her headaches, period. She has had infrequent headaches for the last 2 years or so, period. Over the last 2 months, their frequency has increased to about once per week, period. Headaches last about 24 to 36 hours in each case, period. She has tried over-the-counter medications including Excedrin, Motrin, and naproxen, but these do not provide sufficient relief, period. New paragraph. Notice that Dragon transcribes only when the microphone is turned on. To turn it on and off, I can press a key on the keyboard. If I'm using the handheld Power Mic 2, I hold in a button on the microphone to turn it on. She says the headache usually starts shortly after waking, starting at the top of the head and spreading gradually, generally worse on one side of the head, period. Occasionally the headache begins in the night and causes her to wake up, period. She describes the pain as, quote, crushing, end quote, and rates it as high as 9 out of 10, period, paragraph. She loses at least several hours of work to each of these headaches, sometimes an entire day or more, period. She reports that her stress level at work and at home has not changed significantly in the last year, nor has her diet changed, period. She occasionally drinks wine, period. New paragraph. Notice that I kept speaking ahead of the system, and that it caught up when I was done. Also note that I dictated all of the periods, commas, and quotation marks. Dragon automatically puts in some punctuation. For example, when I dictated 9 out of 10 and it wrote a slash instead of the words out of. It does something similar with blood pressures. New paragraph. Her blood pressure is 125/70. Dragon Medical is not just for long narratives. For example, if you are documenting a review of systems, you'll rely mostly on your mouse to click positive and negative findings. But if you want to add a few words of commentary to one of those findings, you'll use Dragon. Occasionally feels lightheaded but does not think this is associated with her headaches. Dragon Medical comes in handy for entering other types of information. For example, if you want to document the thought process that led to a treatment plan, you can click the Plan tab and go into the Visit Notes field. She is currently experiencing severe disability with these headaches, and has no history of stroke, ischemic colitis, uncontrolled hypertension, or myocardial infarction, period. This makes her a good candidate for a trial of Imitrex 50 milligrams, period. If she does not respond to the Imitrex, we'll consider a different triptan for abortive therapy, period. If Dragon Medical doesn't recognize a word, you can correct it. Correct trip down. Spell that. Triptan. You can either spell or type in this box. When you say OK, Dragon both corrects your documentation and learns the word. If it's an existing vocabulary word, it learns your pronunciation of the sounds in that word so that it becomes less likely to make a similar mistake. OK. If her headaches become more frequent, we'll discontinue the triptan and try preventive therapy with amitriptyline, period. Select wheel. Choose one. Dragon Medical is useful for rapidly filling in variables in a note. I've already created my headache note in All Scripts MyWay, where the underscores indicate variables that need to be filled in. 90. To advance to the next underscore in a note, you can press the F4 key, or you can say a voice command that presses it for you. Press F4, left front. Press F4, 24 to 36 hours. If you have the Power Mic 2, you can set a button on the microphone to press the F4 key. 7 to 10 days. nausea and sensitivity to light. Excedrin, Motrin, or naproxen. Red wine. Some providers like to use voice commands to navigate within the Allscripts MyWay application. For example, if a lot of my patients have headache as their chief complaint, I would record a voice command called CC Headache that enters that complaint into MyWay. CC Headache clicks the CC tab, then clicks Neurological, then Headache, then clicks the HPI tab so I can start writing my note. CC Headache. You can see that headache has been entered as the chief complaint. These commands are very easy to create using the macro recorder built into Dragon Medical.